So, what's going on, everyone? For those of you that don't know, I'm Jason. This is Savage Mind Podcast. We are live. No, we're not in studio. No, I'm not in my studio, my makeshift studio that still isn't ready. And even when I do that, the plan is always my own studio. Um, I know I've mentioned that in probably half of my podcast, but it is what it is, and we make adjustments, not excuses. Coming live to you from a bedroom in my house. I'm going back and forth, and like I've said, if you've listened to the last few handful of podcasts, I decided to do it this way on two different platforms until I get my even when I get my makeshift studio ready. I'm not gonna uh, I'm not gonna do all my podcasts there with guests. So those of you out there I've talked to in the past about coming on the podcast, if you still want to do it, anyone that I've talked to in the past, that offer is still on the table. That has not changed. I apologize for it taking so long. I still continue to produce content, but one thing I'm going to try to do is mobile podcasting. Some people I'm going to have to do video and Skype and stuff like that, we use, because they're around the different parts of the state or different parts of the United States, different parts of the world. But any local people that I'm friends with or we're acquaintances, if we have talked about you coming on the podcast for whatever subject matter, whatever you want to talk about, us discuss mature discussion and sharing our journey and our experiences and our testimony, and uh, that's what I try to stick to is experience, my own experiences, and try to offer that and not advice. The offer is still on the table, so please reach out to me, and maybe some people that I haven't, generate different ideas as I go along, and that's the whole point of when you gain knowledge and you gain experience, is one thing connects to something else, and maybe you you didn't think these things were connected, or you didn't think about this person, or maybe someone you overlooked, you didn't mean to overlook, whatever it is. Anybody I've discussed it with in the past, that is still very much every one of you, unless whoever it is that we're not talking anymore for whatever reason, or unless it's your decision that you decide that's not what you want to do. My plan is makeshift studio here, mobile podcasting, video chat. I like doing stuff in person. This is why it's took so long. I don't really like doing. If I'm not, if I'm not in a position to have anyone and guest on, I just prefer to do it myself. I like doing stuff in person. This is why I don't like FaceTime and I don't like video chat. I do it occasionally with my grandkids, uh, even though that we live fairly close to them. But occasionally I'll do something like that. I really don't care for it. If you know me, you know I'm a texter. I'm a texter, or I'm in person. I really don't like the in between the phone calls. I feel like phone calls. A lot of people like talking to someone. I get that. I think there are isolated cases for that. Sometimes it does constitute a phone call, depending on the situation. I don't think text is rude at all. I think people have lives and people have a lot going on, and I think that it's like showing up to someone's house unannounced, uh, and expecting that they're okay with it. Maybe they have something going on. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're asleep. Maybe they're going through something. A text is, I'll get back to you when I can. I can, again, it's not, there's a difference between being busy and being productive. I consider a text is because I can go through my workday. I can be training. I ain't gonna look. Listen, if anybody that knows me knows this. If I'm running or training, I'm definitely not gonna answer your phone call unless it's an emergency. I have people that I care about, and I don't talk to them very much for this reason. They know my schedule, and they'll call me in the middle of training or working, or even relaxed time in the evening. And I know I'm a talker. I'm either gonna talk or I'm not. I get on a phone call, a vocal phone call. And I'm not talking about podcasting. I'm talking about anything. I won't get anything done. And I'll get caught up, and that's why I don't want to do it. And I see Just like if I text someone, unless you know that people are blatantly ignoring you. Everyone has their phone on them all the time. Now, I've gotten slow with my messages lately on Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms. I don't know what the reason is for. My anxiety's been real bad lately. So if you don't have my number, then I'll probably not answer. And if you try to call me and you don't text me unless it's an emergency, I'm not going to answer. I answer for immediate loved ones and family members. If they call twice, I know it's an emergency. Or, driving or just quick. Something you forgot about the store, whatever it is. It may be a quick phone call. Even my close loved ones, our phone calls are usually like that. Seriously. We'll communicate all through the day texting. I see texts pop up while I'm training or running. It might be 3 miles. It might be 30 miles. I'm going to answer back when I'm done. I'm going to reply back. Occasionally I overlook it. Most of the time I don't. Same thing at work. I might be tied up doing 3 or 4 different things. And the same goes for some of y'all. I'm not going to answer right away. If think about this. We answer every phone call. We call everyone over something small. Something that is, what I always say, y'all see these posts on social media, is it textable? If it's textable, then fucking please text. I do the same thing. And I don't take any offense to it. You know when somebody's not responding. You know when someone is choosing to not respond. But it ain't that we don't take time for people. It's just, to me, a text is the equivalent of asking someone if they're home and is it okay to stop by before fucking stopping by. Show up to my house and I got something going on, or I'm beat, or I'm exhausted, or I'm tired, unannounced. Unless it's a fucking surprise, I'll peep right out my fucking blinds or my door and tell you I'm not home. I'm dead serious. I'm not one of those people. I don't want to be one of those people. Anyway, so that's still the plan. I really want to do the mobile podcasting within reason. Maybe I can come to your house. We can meet somewhere, anywhere that we have enough privacy, whatever it is, and we can especially outdoors, a good weather day. That's been my plan since the beginning. So we're in season 4. I'm coming up on about 10 more episodes, and I'm on episode 200. But we move forward. We make the adjustments as we go, and we don't make excuses. That's just how it goes. So, update real quick. Still, the changes from a few months ago. I've said this many times. I haven't got most of my subscribers back. I got the same amount of people following, which means you follow means you might listen occasionally, and followers, which means you listen to one a month, and I have enough on there for almost another income if they subscribe to the $10 amount, and none of them are subscribing. They're listening. I keep saying this, I hit these little surges. I hit one last week. A lot for me. I don't compare mine to anyone else. It may be you're tired looking at my mug, or you're tired listening to me without other people, whatever it is, but I'm not going to stop, because I explain this, why I've had to do it this way, and it's still just as important for me to do it by myself as it is with other people. It gives you something to look forward to. So I say this. It's been difficult for some people to go back and try to subscribe, and I apologize for that. I don't know what the reason is for. I got the restrictions lifted. I went back and made the adjustments. I went from 3.5 seasons of never making the mandatory subscriptions. And like I said, it gave me new tools, prompted me to update, and gave me some resources and tools to change it to subscription only. And I thought I would do that to try to get myself more revenue, to get on more platforms, to reach more people. Because no matter what the plan is, I don't care any judgment, any criticism, any haters. I do plan on doing this full time one day. When I say full time, I'll still do other things, but enough to where I feel comfortable enough with this where I'm a household name. Yes, I'm really looking forward to my guests, man. I really am. And I think I got my first 10 or 20 lined up. Mimosa. Short work day the last couple of days. Never know when a long one's coming. excuse me, and trained twice both days, and got home and got some work done. Not what I wanted to get done. I'm kind of depleted. I'll do this couple of podcasts on this later. Was behind on my training for my next ultra coming up, and it's in about 15 or 16 days. So what I'll do is I'll taper off about 5 days before that. I'll do a pre-podcast for that, and I'll do a podcast after that of the results. It's a shorter ultra, but it's an obstacles ultra Spartan Beast ultra. No, hear my dogs. See, I mean, it is what it is. When y'all say keep it real in every aspect of your life, when you tell people to keep it real with you, when you say don't be fake, fucking keep it 100, do y'all fucking mean it? Because I think most of y'all do not. So, we're in October 2023. First 4 or 5 days, I'm a little bit behind again. I rattled off about 2 or 3 a while back, got caught up. So I did the podcast. I'm either doing it from a room in the house. There's multiple rooms I'm using in the house. I'm still occasionally using my makeshift studio that's not ready. I feel like for my makeshift studio, I keep calling it that. I don't know why. I'm about to make, in the next few months, I should make enough progress that I did in a few years in there. So that's a plus. Please manifest this. And when I think about having guests on, I don't think about what kind of popularity it's going to be. I think, do I value the person? Do I think they value me? Do I think they have something to bring to the table? Do I think people need to hear what they do for what their journey is, what they do for a living, what their purpose is, their history, their background. It doesn't even matter if matter of fact, it don't fucking matter if we agree on everything. That's not the point. It doesn't mean that that's what this society needs to understand. You're not supposed to be around people you agree with all the time. You need to be the people that we spend time with need to be in alignment with our purpose and our goals in our life. And we are a sum. I just did a podcast on this a while back. We're a sum and the equivalent of the 5 people we spend the most time with and that we talk to the most, whether we want to be or not. It doesn't matter if you're in alignment with their value system, their goals, their plans. You become the 5 people you spend the most time with. And the same with the other way around. Our differences, our different experiences, our different opinions, different adversity we have all experienced. Some people haven't experienced that much adversity. Whatever it is, these are valuable things, and this is how we grow. And this is how we may look at something different. So, with saying that, let me get into this. Oh, hey, so, consistency. If you go back and look at my videos, before I ever had a podcast from 6 or 7 years ago, you'll see an AC/DC shirt. I don't know if y'all can see it. This is 2016 World Tour or United States Tour. 2016. It's faded now. The reason I put this on today is because I was like, a good friend of mine bought this for me because I couldn't make the concert. Still a valuable friend to this day. We don't see each other much. He knew I wanted to go to that concert. I couldn't go. I didn't even ask him. He bought me this. This is an official concert shirt. And I was telling the wife, the mama see it. I was like, I got home after I got done doing everything and training and working around the house. I put this shirt. I wear this shirt around the house a lot. You can see this in multiple pictures and videos. It's just faded, man. It's got the back part too. I don't know if you can see. Guitar stuff. So 2016, and I said, this right here, instead of people that we live in a world where everybody's flexing, talking about how much they spend, where it's encouraged to live above your means. It's okay to be broke. It's okay to fucking be drowning in debt and just flexing everything, and that's not fucking living to me. So when I have something that's lasted a long time, I fucking value it. I do. And I was like, this shirt, I've worn this shirt. So I got a picture of my oldest granddaughter. Fucking, we're doing the rock and roll sign. Everybody knows that picture when this shirt still was really colorful, when I was still doing just Facebook videos in our backyard. She's almost 9. She probably was 2 then. Except it was real colorful then. You could see all the graphics and everything. I was like, this shirt don't have one hole in it. It's still fucking comfortable. I love this material. This is the kind of material I like in all my shirts. All my shirts are not this material. And I was like, it's like my old truck I'm fixing to get rid of. I said, I bought that. Look, this is things that I feel good about. It's like gamblers. People that gamble a lot, whether it be lottery, whether it be poker, whether it be slots, whatever it is. Most gamblers tell you what they won. They don't tell you what they spent. It's just like it's almost like, why are we embarrassed? Well, I mean, I know why, because everybody wants to fit in a certain group. People want to be in a clique. They want to be accepted into certain circles. You want to, no one wants to say they don't make that much money or they're struggling or things like that. That's the truth. I mean, there was a time I had that mindset, probably because it was the environment in which I grew up in. But people have no problem fucking breaking themselves. It doesn't matter how much they make. They have no problem living above their means. They have no problem getting the debt. They have no. I mean, again, like I always say, social media is a highlight reel. I mean, I'm not saying you should get on there and air out your fucking problems, and your relationships, your finances, and all that. You know, you should. I don't think you should. But also, why can't we fucking legitimately keep it real? No, I can't afford to go. No, that don't fit in my budget. No, times are tough right now. We're leaner than ever. I don't think we need to do that. Or I definitely know we're not going to purchase that. Why not brag about the old car you've had that's still running and it's been paid for some years? Why not about the house maybe that it needs work, but you paid it off or you're about to pay it off and you're going to be mortgage or rent free for however long. It doesn't, and if you're in a position where you could pay cash for big purchases like that, then good. Then by all means, brag about that too. Hey, whatever it was, maybe somebody gave you the money, you inherited it, family helped you, handed it down, whatever it was, or you did it yourself. I said, make sure and tell the truth because that's a different. There's a difference in that. Why don't we talk about stuff that lasts? Consistency, fucking discipline. Hey, I take my lunch every day, and I haven't spent this much money in this long. This car is 10, 15 years. I mean, I'm not mechanical, so they usually don't last me that long anyway. I don't stay on top of stuff like I need to. I usually do it when it needs to be done. But it was like this shirt is like that truck. I bought that truck about 11 years ago for my daughter when she started driving. She still had her permit. She's still almost 28 years old now. So she was about 15. I bought that truck 10 years old. And I've had it for about 11 or 12 years. Somewhere in there. It's been sitting, if I add all the time, a few years ago to now. Right now it's been sitting for 2. And I drove it for a year or 2 in between, and it's set for a year before that. So even after 12, if you say 12 years, take those 3 years away. For 9 years I drove that truck. Went on river trips, went to the beach, worked out of it, went to concerts. I was like, paid less than $4,000 for that thing, cash. I mean, it's like this shirt. I was like, it don't have any holes in it, don't have any rips in it, it's comfortable. It's from one of my fucking favorite bands. It came from a good friend. The fuck's wrong with that? That's real power. These are all the things, fuck what people think. You gotta ask yourself, why do you give so many fucks about what people think that maybe not can do anything for you? Even if they can do anything for you, are you compromising and so they can do things for you so you don't lose a benefit, so they accept you into your group? What is it for? And chances are it's probably not even nothing worth it. It's probably little gains. It's probably not even nothing that's even going to be able to put you in a different position. That's what I always ask myself. This is what you need to ask yourself. When you hold your tongue with your employer, hold your tongue with your family, don't bring up certain things. You know that you're not getting value. You know you're getting taken advantage of, or you know that that's not your job, or you know that you're being taken for granted, or you know that there's some benefits that you need to get. Whatever, any walks of life, family members, spouse, employers, ask yourself this. If I don't say it, I can't get it. And remember this, chances are by you not bringing it up, it ain't going to change it anyway. I feel like most of this society is willing to compromise what they say they're about and what they're really about, their integrity, their fucking character. They're willing to, you may not call yourself this, you're willing to do that little bit of brown nosing. You're willing to sweep it under the rug. You're willing to kiss ass. You're willing to suck cock a little bit. Just so you don't get the rug ripped out from underneath you or you don't get the fucking plug pulled. Think about it. Just so you can fucking get by. Just so you can make ends meet. Just so you ain't got to tell your kids they don't have the extras that they can't play the select sports. Maybe you don't, this is what most of y'all, this is why y'all compromised during COVID. This is the truth. You compromised not because you needed your necessities, because you wasn't willing to give up your luxuries. That's the truth. Whether y'all admit it or not, and this is gonna piss y'all off, you wasn't willing to give up your extras. I'm not judging anyone. Lord, for as many people that I love and care about that didn't get it, I have just as many that I love and care about that did get it. This ain't this podcast about it, but I spoke this to many people. You wasn't willing to compromise. You wasn't willing to take a less paying job. I get it. Nobody wants to lose their house. Nobody wants to not eat and all that. No one wants to get their lights and water turned off. But in most cases, that wasn't it. We got used to our luxuries. And you didn't want to give up your luxuries. You want to give up the lake house. You didn't want to give up the timeshare. You didn't want to give up the boat. You didn't want to give up the extra kids. You didn't want to tell your kids that they got to take a fucking older car. You wanted them to get that other vehicle, car, truck, so they fit in. You didn't want to give up your expensive vacations. You didn't want to not be able to use your credit cards. You wanted to not be able to shop. You didn't want to be able to not go out to eat. You did not want to fucking have game night, have fight night, whatever it is. Because you give a fuck about what people think, that's why. So, that's what I wanted to talk about. And I want to do some follow-ups on this one because I wanted the next... I don't know if I'm going to do it with the next one. The next few podcasts, or not next few, excuse me. We need to talk about this fucking economy. And everyone's going to go back to politics and this, and that. And that's very fucking true, no doubt. But it's not just that. We need to talk about inflation. We need to talk about interest. We need to talk about living within our means. We need to talk about living above our means. We need to talk about what real freedom is, especially financial freedom, groceries, any commodities. If we just take the price of commodities 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago, but especially like 2 or 3 years ago to now, home prices, car prices, what we're doing, what adjustments we are making, how are we doing? I know how I'm doing, and not good. And let me just say this before I cut this podcast short. We live well within our means, if not below our means, by choice, long before this happened. Why is it embarrassing? Why do y'all worry about it? Do you feel like saying you're struggling now? And you know that you're living, let's just say, for example, you know you're living within your means. You know you don't fucking party all the time. You know that you don't fucking get things you can't afford. You know you don't have no substance abuse problem. Whatever it is, do you feel like people think, do y'all think this? Do you think you're a failure? Do you think that people that are struggling are failures? They must have made mistakes in life. They must not have had their shit together. They must not work hard. And people that are not struggling, they do work hard. Y'all heard me talk about that a lot. Yes, because these things apply to a lot of things, like I always say. What is it? I mean, what's the reason? It's embarrassing to say you're struggling or you don't have the money, but it's not as embarrassing to say that, yeah, man, I'm like $200,000. I mean, I'm like $100,000 in credit card debt and student loan debt. Or yeah, I got we can't afford our house, and our house is we're struggling, and our house is in default. Or we got a car that we definitely couldn't afford, or we got 2 cars we can't afford. Whatever it is, this is real shit. This is 80% of people, if not more. So I'll talk about that because I never would think this, and this is not a lot to some people. I think even with hardly any, what I call necessary debt, and I don't feel like we have any unnecessary debt. There was a time I did, different life, different time. Not a lot, but I still had unnecessary debt. We don't have any unnecessary debt. And I still feel like it takes probably about, after taxes, about six figures with two people working. Not six figures apiece, six figures between both people for people just to make it on the basics. So I'm going to go for now. Let's pick back up on this. It might be tomorrow. It might be a couple of days from now. Let's talk about it. Y'all reach out to me. Ask me some questions about anything. It doesn't have to be about this podcast. It could be about another podcast. These videos, yes, it's not official podcast equipment, are going on YouTube. They go on Facebook. I noticed this when I put them on Facebook. Again, when I used to put my videos on there and I can download it straight from my phone and you see my face, I get a reasonable amount of views. I have to put it on YouTube and then attach the link on social media on Facebook. It doesn't get that many views or likes. And that's cool. I hardly get any likes anyway. It doesn't stop me. It means nothing to me. It doesn't, because most of the people that watch it won't even admit they watch it. So Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play, Spreaker, big shout out to Anchor again. And on YouTube with this, you can find the audio part of it on Spotify, Apple Play, and the other platforms. And you can go to YouTube and this, and I want you to subscribe on YouTube and subscribe to all of them. And this is how I build revenue. This is how I reach more people, and this is how I get more platforms. Because we ain't gonna fucking stop. Talk to y'all later.